Showers. I've spoken to the FCA about other schools, but this is the biggest group I think that I've ever spoken to with FCA. So I was in your shoes many years ago, and we had the FCA, and it was so important to me because the students, we all joined together, and there are going to be times in your life where there's trouble. There's going to be times, there's good times and bad times. And when you're in that time of trouble, it's always good to have a friend nearby. So I want to start with a story, and I didn't bring my glasses, so I hope I can see you. But I want to start with a story. I've heard this story 3 times. I don't know if you've heard this story before, but I heard it recently, and I said, I'm going to share this story with FCA. And it's about 2 traveling angels. The 2 traveling angels stopped to spend the night with a wealthy family. The family was rude and refused to let the angels stay in the mansion's guest room. They stayed on the floor in a cold basement. As they lay on the floor, the older angel repaired a hole in the wall. The younger angel asked, "Why did you repair the hole?" The older angel said, "Things aren't always what they seem." The next night, the 2 angels stopped at a very poor home, but a hospitable home, a farmer and his wife. The farmer and his wife shared their food that they had left with the 2 angels. Not only did they share their food, they shared their bed. They let them sleep in their bed, and they slept in the barn. The next morning, the farmer's wife was in tears. Their only cow, whose milk was their income, was dead in the field. The younger angel was angry with the older angel, saying, "How could you let this happen?" The older angel said, or the younger angel said, "How could you let this happen? The first man had everything and you helped him. The second family had little and shared everything, and you let the cow die." And the older angel said, "Things aren't always what they seem." When we stayed in the basement, I noticed there was gold stored in the hole in the wall. Since the owner was greedy and selfish, I sealed the wall up. Last night, the wife of the farmer was going to die, and I put the cow in her place instead. Things aren't always what they seem. When I first read that story and heard that story, I thought that good things happen to good people and bad things happen to bad people. And that's not always true. So I changed my mind, though, the second time I heard it. The second time I heard it, and I thought about it this morning, the second time I heard that story, I realized that blessings happen to me and I don't deserve them. Did you hear that? Blessings happen to me and you, and we don't deserve them. Why don't we deserve them? Because there's nothing that we can offer the Lord. You think about it. The Lord has everything. He created the mountains, He created the earth, He created the universe. There's nothing that I can offer Him. So whatever good, perfect gift that comes from the Lord, I am not deserving of it. It says this in Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make your path straight." So this morning, the message is, I'm going to give a different message than what I normally give. This morning, I'm going to put myself in your shoes, and I'm going to give you advice that I would have given myself. I've never done that before. I'm going to do something different. Now, I believe that your path that you go on, the path that you follow, and the things that happen in your life happen for a reason. I do believe that. So So I wouldn't go back and change who I was. Everything that happened in my life happened for a reason. I'm here today because of what happened in my life all the way through. In 2011, the third year I was preaching. Third year I was preaching, 2011. The preacher across the road came to me and called me. Mr. Showers, I need to come see you. I said, what in the world does this preacher want to do? He was just emphatic. I got to see you today. And I said, well, can you come at 3 o'clock? Because the students are here. I've got all kinds of things. Can you come at 3 o'clock? I'll be there at 3 o'clock. You know what time he was there? At 2:50. At 2:50 he was sitting out there. And I said, Brother Ward, come on in. He came on in and sat down. And he said, Mr. Showers, I need to tell you something. I said, what do you got to tell me? He said, I need to tell you something important. I said, what in the world is this preacher going to tell me? He pulled out his phone. It wasn't this phone, but it was a smaller phone. And he said, Mr. Showers, on this phone there's something you need to know about. I said, well, I know what's on the phone. You got a text message? He said, no, you need to know something that's on this phone. I said, okay, tell me what's on the phone. He said, there's an app on the phone that my daughter downloaded. I said, what is it? He said, it's called Snapchat. I said, what? He said, Snapchat. I said, what does it do? He said, you can send a message and it'll disappear. I said, what does that mean? He began to tell me. He said, a message came to my daughter. It was bad. I'm not going to tell you what the message was, or what the picture was, or anything else, but it was bad. And I told the preacher, I said, maybe this app will disappear. But it didn't. 4 years later, something showed up on my desk. I looked at it, my assistant principal brought it in. He said, here, Michelle, you got to see this on your desk. This is bad. I said, what is that? I said, it starts with a J. U-U-L. What in the world is that? He said, I think it's a beta. And I said, maybe this will go away. Maybe this won't be something that'll keep happening. A lot of things change. A lot of things happen. A lot of bad things happen. But there's one thing that never changes. There's one thing in your life that will never, ever change. You will change. I will change. Bad things will happen. Bad things will come. But there's one thing that never changes. He's just the same today, yesterday, and forever. And that's biblical. If I can find the verse, I'll read it for you. Thought I had it. Can't find it. My glasses aren't good. But it does say that. And one of the verses says that Jesus Christ, the Lord, is the same yesterday, today, and forever. What does that mean for you? What does that mean for you? Well, this is the advice that I'm going to give you that I should have given myself back in the day, or I would take. Number one, always be grateful. When I sat in your spot years ago, I didn't understand what that meant. What it meant to be grateful. This morning, when you got up this morning, you should be grateful. Because number one, you woke up this morning. So every morning, when I'm on the way to work, every morning for the last 26 years that I've been in it, the first thing I say is I'm grateful for my family. I don't have my parents anymore. The Lord, they're gone with Him. I'm grateful for my family. Number two, I'm grateful for you, my students. I don't know everybody in here. I've had over 10,000 students over the years, but I'm grateful for every student that I have. Number three, I'm grateful for my teachers. I'm grateful for my principal. grateful for all of the support staff. I'm grateful for what the Lord has given me that He didn't have to give me. You know that it's impossible to be grateful and angry at the same time. Did you know that? And I'm going to tell you a quick story about anger and revenge. And it was a recent story. My secretary walked in 3 years ago. She had tears in her eyes. She said, my brother has died. Her younger brother died. He died of an overdose of fentanyl. And I grabbed her and I hugged her and I said, what can I do for you? And she said, my sister is headed to Ohio. I said, where's she going? She's going to Ohio to find the person who sold that to her, my brother. I said, what did you tell your sister? And she said, I told her not to go. She went to Ohio. Her sister did. She spent 2 or 3 weeks up there. And nothing good came of it. Because why? Because vengeance is the Lord's. It's not ours. You know what the Lord, when He was on the cross, what He told people? The people wanted to crucify Him. They did crucify Him. Did He tell the people, Lord, strike them down right now and get rid of all of them? Did He tell them, I hope they all lose everything they have and they're poor the rest of their life? Did He tell them that He hoped somebody died in their life? No. What did He tell them? He said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. So when you're grateful, you can't be vengeful. Number 2, the second thing I would tell myself if I was in your position is to be joyful in the Lord every day. How are you joyful in the Lord? The thing that I remember when I was a kid, when I heard somebody that was joyful, they were always singing a song, either a hymn or a Christian song. The song would come to them, and this song comes to mind when I think about joyful. It's Amazing Grace. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see. How can you not be joyful when you sing that song? If I could hear my mother sing that song again, I would be joyful again, but one day I will hear her sing. She's singing it now. Be joyful. The other thing I would tell you to do, and the last thing I'll tell you to do, and we'll end with this, and this is the most important thing, is to be a light. Be a light. There's a lot of light right now in this room. The lights are here. You got a lot, see a lot of light out here. But when you walk out of here into the world, there's darkness in the world. There's places that you're going to go that there's no light at all. You may be the only light that's there. Be the light. What's the verse that talks about being the light? I'm going to read it for you. Matthew 5:14-16. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill that cannot be hidden. Nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket. Instead, they put it on a lampstand so that it gives light for everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see what? That they may see your good deeds. And then the last part is most important. What do we want them ultimately to do? They see your good deeds, and what do? What's the action that they do? And they glorify your Father in heaven. There's somebody in the world that's going to see your life, and they're going to turn and glorify the Father in heaven. And what a blessing that is. When I was your age, I didn't always understand that. You know what I thought when I was your age? I thought I was in control. I thought that everything I could control. And what I found out was going back to the two angels. They said I wasn't in control. I'm not in control now. I'm the superintendent. I'm not in control. Why? Why are we not in control? Because He is in control. And that's a good thing. Because what happens? We make mistakes. We do things that aren't correct. But He has never made mistakes. And He never will. And as long as you shine your light before men and women, He will always be glorified. And the light is very bright this morning. And I thank you for shining your light today. Let us go in the word of prayer and we'll end this. Dear Lord, we thank you for this